So a couple of days ago, Twitter rolled out this new feature and it allows you to put a tweet up and not have anyone comment on that tweet. So you can tweet anything out that you want, and unless you've tagged someone in that tweet, they can't actually respond to you. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that Naughty Dog were going to use this feature because they've already been turning people's comments off on YouTube. And Naughty Dog tweeted out this image. Now, it's not a controversial image by any stretch of the imagination, but the controversy is surrounding the game. So you can imagine that people would have dogpiled this tweet. They would have jumped on it, they would have ripped it to shreds, and it's their right to do that, or at least I think so. And whilst I understand that some people may not want to have their Twitters attacked constantly by an angry mob, I also think that this was another stupid move by Naughty Dog. Like I've said 100 times before, the leaks are out there. There's nothing you can do about it now. People are going to see them no matter where you post and no matter where you go. The Naughty Dog Last of Us 2 leaks are out there. Everyone knows it, and they're not hard to find at all. A quick internet search will give you them, and I am totally against the game being spoiled, and it's unfortunate that it's come to this, but also people outed the game because of the things that it's trying to force on people. And obviously I'm against the game being spoiled for anyone, you know. No matter what you think of The Last of Us Part 2, you shouldn't spoil it for other people. If you don't want to play it anymore, much like most people don't want to play it anymore, that's up to you. But if somebody doesn't want it spoiled and they still want to play it, you should allow them to play it. But that is the unfortunate reality of the internet. Once spoilers are out there, especially in this case where if you're a gamer, there's no way you're going to avoid The Last of Us Part 2 spoilers. It's pretty much unavoidable at this point. I remember a commenter left a comment on my YouTube, and he was basically telling me that if you support The Last of Us Part 2, you support Anita Sarkeesian. And I thought, I was like, what? I didn't know about The Last of Us Part 2 leaks back then when this person told me that. And then obviously that comment, someone else went and saw it, and then they sent the leaks to me. I was like, oh Jesus Christ. But I didn't send them out to anyone else. I didn't want anyone else to have the game ruined for them. But judging from my comment section, it looks like everyone knows what goes down. So if you're a gamer on the internet, that is the unfortunate reality. You will have The Last of Us Part 2 spoiled, and if you haven't had it spoiled for you, then you're some sort of ninja and you need to let me in on the secrets. But that's just how it is right now. Naughty Dog already knows this, and so all they've done by turning off a comment section on Twitter and on YouTube has stopped the conversation with their potential customers. Because that's the way it is, right? Like, they're putting a game out there for people who may be potential customers, and they've just shut the conversation down yet again. Naughty Dog originally did this on YouTube as well, and I thought it was a dumb move then, just like it's a dumb move now. There's a pretty good article posted by Eric Kane on Forwards which goes into it, but I wanted to echo a point Eric made in the article and then expand on it a little bit. So Eric writes in a portion of the article, and he's referencing the censoring of the tweets now. I suppose I'm a bit mixed on the feature. I've been dogpiled on Twitter before, and it sure isn't fun, especially when you're being dogpiled by a bunch of people who don't know the first thing about you, but are going off bad, mean-spirited, cowardly misinformation of someone they follow instead. Now that does happen on Twitter. That does happen a lot. You get echo chambers where people they'll listen to someone that they're subscribed to, or they'll listen to someone that has an agenda, and then they'll go over to that person's Twitter and they'll start attacking them. Here we're talking about an individual person. It's different when you're talking about one person who's being attacked by loads of people. This is a company, this is a studio in Naughty Dog that is being attacked by its fans. I think it's a slightly different situation. And also in this case, I don't know if I would call the attacks on Naughty Dog mean-spirited or cowardly, because the attacks people are making on them are based off of the leaks. They're not random attacks, they're not really assumptions. A lot of people have said that, oh, the game's not out yet, how can you fully judge it? That's right to an extent. You can't fully judge it, the game isn't out yet, but a lot came out, and if you did see the leaks, there is a lot out there for you to make a kind of well-informed opinion on the game, kind of form a good solid opinion on where you sit with the game. So I wouldn't call it cowardly, I wouldn't call it mean-spirited, I definitely wouldn't call it misinformation. But I get what Eric is saying here. This is just in reference to people being attacked in general, I guess. He then goes on to say, but there is always the mute option. You can block people, you can do your best to ignore, though this is hard given Twitter's nature. The problem with Twitter is even if you clarify something to one person, another person might not see that, so you end up explaining yourself or arguing till your face turns blue over and over again with various threads and users. It can be exhausting. I mean, for me personally, this is just a personal thing. I don't mind people calling me out on something. It doesn't bother me too much. I think it's okay for people that, you know, they take time out of their day to come and watch your content or play your games or view something that you've put up. You should be open to taking the critique. You don't necessarily have to defend yourself, and there's nothing that Naughty Dog need to defend here. This was their idea for a game. People don't like it, and that's it. They don't really have to defend it. They should learn from it. They should learn that we don't want certain things pushed into our games, or we at least we want them written in so that it makes sense. We don't want them just forced there. And I'm going to make another video regarding this on why this situation is forced, but I'm not going to reference the leaks so much, just the general way gaming and pop culture is sort of moving these days. He then goes on to say, on the other hand, and that's kind of what Twitter is. A bit chaotic, a bit free-for-all, a bit open. I'm not sure if this fix will work or simply change the very nature of Twitter altogether, for better or worse. Now, like I said, obviously being attacked by a large number of people might not be easy for someone to deal with, but that's something you should be equipped to deal with when you put things out there in the public. That might sound like rich coming from someone that doesn't currently have the entire internet attacking them, but I am actually a firm believer in freedom of speech, and I just can't get behind the idea of censoring an argument, even if the argument is heavily one-sided. And I mean that in reference to a company. You shouldn't be abusing one single person on their own, because we've seen where that can lead. That's a dangerous road. I don't think it's the same when you're attacking the name of a company. It's a bit different. I'll give you guys a perfect example. I've put out some videos on this channel that have been rushed with bad information, and you know, it happens, especially when you're new to YouTube and you're still learning the ropes. I've only been doing this for 2 years on and off, and I only really started taking this seriously at the end of March this year. If you go back and look through my videos, there were gaps. Didn't really put too much work into them. I decided to put more work into it at the end of March. So mistakes are gonna happen. That is inevitable. And people have left comments in my comment section, and people have messaged me, and my friends have messaged me, and they've said to me, this video wasn't very good. Even the latest video that I put out about the Mortal Kombat patch notes, that video was a bit too rushed because I wanted to go and do something else, and I paid for it. I got a lot of dislikes on that video because people didn't get the information they wanted. Although they could see the information on the screen, they came to my video to hear me talk about it, and I didn't talk about it in the detail that I should have. I didn't give it the care that it required, and those people are entitled to say what they want about me. That's why my comment section is always open. YouTube has recently rolled out a feature where it will hold potentially abusive comments, like in a jail for a little bit, I guess, and I always turn that feature off. I want people to comment on my videos freely, however they want, whether you agree with me or not. If you want to say something abusive, if you want to say something nice, that is your right as a human being. No one should be telling you or stopping you from talking. You put yourself out there on the internet in whichever form of entertainment that is, and the internet will critique you or it will praise you if you do it right. You have to allow people to do that. You have to allow people to say their piece, and I think that's something that Naughty Dog has just forgotten. It doesn't really make sense to me why they can't grasp. If you go and look at Anita Sarkeesian's Feminist Frequency channel, I know we're speaking about her again, but she's a perfect example of this. You can't leave comments on her page on any of her videos. There's no discussion part, there's nothing. You can leave likes and dislikes on there, that's about it. There is no conversation to be had on Feminist Frequency. She will only ever hear from people she works with. That creates an echo chamber, and it stops your own personal growth. If I put shit content out there and it's not to your liking, you should be able to tell me. I want to be able to have a conversation with people that take time out of their day to listen to what I have to say. It's healthy for me, it's healthy for you, it's healthy for everyone. Most of the time, my friends are going to tell me what I want to hear. My girlfriend's going to tell me what I want to hear. My parents are going to tell me what I want to hear. If I wanted to live in an echo chamber, I'd just listen to them. But your opinions, the people on the internet, you matter just as much, and they should matter to Naughty Dog. And like I said, I understand the notion that someone who has worked on a project for 6 years will find it hard to digest harsh criticism about their game. But this is also a game that you need us to consume. They need us to purchase it. But what Naughty Dog has effectively done on YouTube and Twitter is silence the conversation, basically saying to us, here's our product, we don't care about your opinions on it, just buy it and shut up. And it really shouldn't be like that. I'm actually disappointed to see that Naughty Dog have done this. You know, it's a relatively harmless tweet. It's just a picture of Ellie looking off into the distance, but still it sets a precedent. Hiding away from comments doesn't make the situation any better, because the internet's a big place. People are just going to insult you somewhere else. And obviously, like I said, I'm talking about a product here. I'm talking about a game. It could be a movie, a TV show. I'm not talking about a specific human being. It's completely different when an individual is relentlessly attacked by hundreds of people online. But this isn't that. This is a video game that a studio has put out there. Silencing the conversation during a time where people are already pissed off at you really did yourself absolutely no favors. Once again, you should want to listen to your fans to see where you went wrong and improve on that for next time. The same way that I want to know if I put out rubbish content and you guys don't like it. This isn't a situation where Naughty Dog would even have to explain themselves to individuals. That isn't necessary, because they're not an individual, they're a company. Just put a video out there addressing a bunch of things and everyone will flock to it. People will go comment and people will go watch. If you don't want to because you don't want to harm your product anymore, then at least let people express themselves, read over those comments and do better next time. Learn from your mistakes. There's a lot of censorship going on these days and people not wanting to listen to what others have to say, and honestly it just seems like a slippery slope to me. Anyways guys, those were just some of my thoughts regarding what Naughty Dog has done recently and their situation on Twitter. I hope you're all safe. Once again, thank you for all the views and the new subscribers. I will talk to you all very soon. Leave your comments in the comment section below on what you think about this situation and Naughty Dog censoring their Twitter page, and I'll catch you all very soon. Peace.